going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I'm going to talk about a story that happened out there in Detroit, Michigan, in the Southfield neighborhood last week, and it's involving this guy right here. This is 79-year-old Maurice Elmore, and this guy tragically lost his life after being robbed and brutally beaten by a stranger that was crossing paths with him as he was walking home to his house. I'm going to play this video for you, and I'm going to come back and talk about this situation. Stuff like this really aggravates me, man. I mean, here it is, a 79-year-old man that still had years to live in his life, was loved by his family, and have his life taken away by a coward in the manner in which he did. And I want you guys to pay attention to the details of how this guy met his untimely demise. It's beyond head scratching. In fact, it's infuriating. Take a look.
Now to a family demanding justice after a senior citizen has died days after being attacked during an armed robbery.
Maurice Elmore leaves behind 3 children, 13 grandchildren, and so many other loved ones who knew something was wrong when they could not get in touch with him. Well, now we are waiting to find out tomorrow what charges a 26-year-old man from Southfield could face for his death.
7 News Detroit's Kimberly Craig is in Southfield talking to one of Elmore's daughters, who says she's particularly thankful for the person who called 911.
Here at Telegraph in Franklin in Southfield is where police say 79-year-old Maurice Elmore crossed paths with a much younger man, one who would leave him clinging to life.
28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
These are the moments Maurice Elmore lived for, celebrating birthdays or just dancing with his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. So it was odd one day a couple weeks ago when no one could reach him.
He was missing, and we kept calling his phone, and he wasn't responding. He wasn't answering. I even texted, "Where are you?" And he didn't never text back. So my daughter actually got suspicious and went to the home, and the neighbors said Southfield police had came over.
Southfield police say the night of May 30th, Maurice Elmore was walking home near Telegraph in Franklin when the 79-year-old walked past a man who wanted to rob him.
They said they were walking towards each other on Telegraph.
Police say as soon as the 26-year-old man walked past Elmore, he came up behind him and attacked him, striking him in the head. Elmore fell to the ground and the attacker punched him and kicked him before stealing his phone and wallet. A passerby saw Elmore on the ground and called 911. Elmore was rushed to the hospital where he spent 10 days in the ICU with head trauma, broken bones, and black eyes.
Seeing him that way was like really shocking because my father was so healthy. He rode his bike, he did this. So to see him down like that, that person must have really been just out of control.
On Monday, Maurice Elmore, a retired factory worker and casino dealer, died from his injuries. Southfield police say they were able to track down their 26-year-old suspect, who could be charged and arraigned in the case as early as Friday. Elmore's family just thankful for the person who called 911, believing their quick action gave him the chance to see them again before passing away.
And I got that chance to tell him I loved him. Even if I don't know if he was going to make it or not, I still told him over and over again, so he knows how we felt about him.
In Southfield, Kimberly Craig, 7 News Detroit.
Guys, that's the story of 79-year-old Maurice Elmore of Detroit, Michigan. And trust me, my heart does go out to his family. I don't know, how it feels to lose somebody to that type of violence at that age. That man, besides being 79 fucking years old, had a history. His life had a history. And in that history, he touched the lives of many other people, just like a lot of other old elderly people that get brutalized in such a way by some stranger. People love this man like they love the motherfucker that did the crime to him. It's a damn shame that This guy lost his life like that. Family got to go seen on a ventilator, eyes swollen, massive head trauma. The guy Pearl Harbored him from the backyard after walking past him. All of that trauma that man put onto that old man, right? Now you seen him in the pictures dancing and stuff. He moved like he elderly. He probably couldn't even brace himself from the fall. For some 26-year-old asshole that should have his life somewhat together or have some type of male code that he lives by in a positive way to do that, unacceptable. Unacceptable. You beat this man in his head and face to where his eyes swole up and he had massive head trauma. Didn't even wake up. The family couldn't even say their goodbyes. You know how bad it is to see somebody on a ventilator like that? Especially your father, and you're an older person and you know better, and you know what life is about. No, how much faith you lose in humanity, especially nowadays with the way crimes are. Nobody has respect for children, elderly people, or people their age. This is a goddamn disgrace. It is. Let's get people come on the page when you talk about this type of stuff. They get mad at you. Leave stupid ass comments in the comment section. You ain't talking about Whitey. Well, we talking about this right now. Let a white person talk about Whitey on their page. Or you can talk about it. Trust me, there are many other YouTubers out here that'll placate to that bullshit. My page is about everything. Everybody gets it on my page. Just because you watch 2 videos, you have the sum total whole knowledge of what I'm about and what I talk about on mine. Thing that's funny, most people talk shit. You go and look it up. And yes, us as content creators can look up your background and see what you're doing on here. We know you subscribers. It's always somebody that want to come and shake the pot. Stupid. The 79-year-old man dead here. My grandfather was 93 years old the last time I seen him. He was in sound mind and his body was holding up somewhat, but you know, he was going through the wears and tears of life and aging. To have somebody 26 years old to do this to somebody like him, and I honestly believe it could have been anybody walking down that street that, you know, this guy would have probably did that too. But I mean, honestly, what kind of young man are you when you have no respect for the elderly and you beat somebody to death that you could easily overpower? What do you think that old man had on him, on his person, that warranted that type of trauma? How much money you thought he had? And how much force did you have to use to get it from him? There are people out here with a vicious nature that's just internalized in them. No home training lets the savagery loose. And we're starting to see it. People like this, when they catch them, they need to dispatch them right there on the spot. Don't give a fuck who cries, shits, pisses on the floor, falls out, has a seizure. It don't fucking matter. 79 years on this planet. And the period at the end of the sentence in his book of life was him getting beat. Not feeling it. He didn't live 79 years for that to be the end of his existence. And a lot of other people out here that did that, you know, this is happening too. Whether they 79 years old, 96 years old, or 9 days old. Once you here on the planet, you got a right to live just like everybody else when you're doing the right thing. The man worked, retired, said he was a casino dealer too. See, this is the thing about younger people and older people, the disparagingness of enough of it. An older person knows how it is to be you at your age, but you don't know how it is to be them at their age. That's the disparage. That's a disparagement. There are people out here that don't care about nobody and they're opportunistic. And they prey upon people. And this is just another example of it. And it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. People think it's easy to do these stories. It's not. It's the same stuff. over and over again. And no end in sight. The problems you see now with the rise of crime, violence, whether it's against old people or young people, is something to be talked about. And I'm going to talk about it on my channel. If you don't like it, always options. You can go watch somebody else. I'm going to talk about issues of all races of people. You're not going to sit up here and tell me not to talk about stuff with black people because I'm black, and talk about other things. And run your own channel and do what you want to do, and then let other idiots like yourself go over there and try to pull the strings and put batteries in your back. I'm too old for that shit. I've been all over the country, visited every state at least once, lived in multiple states, been in the military, been around all types of people, been outside of the country, seen how other cultures listen, while a lot of y'all ain't been off the back steps of your own backyard. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ignorant people gonna always be here. It doesn't really bother me, but sometimes I feel as though I should jump up and address it. My channel, everybody got a voice, just like everybody got a story, and I'm gonna fucking keep telling it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.